Welcome everybody to Nature Boys Corner. I am the man they call Vega, and this week I'm joined by my co-host, one half of the SPW Tag Team Champions, the old Paul Holloway. Paul, thanks for coming in.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
You know, lots of things going on. Obviously, Gary Gold not here today, but if I may say so myself,
The show must go on.
show must go on, and things are getting a little bit better.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've had quite a last month that we've had recently. We finally got to shut the mouth of Carlos Slavin.
Yep.
I know that's something that you've been working on personally for quite some time. And I think it was, me, my partner, and I'm sure the boss, Blackheart, had a great time stomping a mud hole in him, as they would say.
That was great. You know, that was right before the holidays. Now that we're here taping this, great Christmas gift. You know, to stomp on Carlos.
Absolutely.
You know, to show Lewis the light.
Yep. He's definitely within my flock of trainees when we were coming up in the industry, and I've been saying it. Lewis just hasn't had the right guidance, and I think finally he's opening his eyes and he's taken on the right mantle here.
And you know, this is what I wanted from Carlos a long time ago. All he had to do was listen. But you see, he wanted to go his own route. He wanted to listen to the fans. He liked getting cheered. He liked all this catering by the people. And the people are not going to win matches for you.
No, absolutely not.
And that's what happens. I mean, Lewis, he listened, and now finally it's paying off.
It's been a long time coming for him, too. I mean, I told him after our first encounter that even though he won, he didn't really win because the roads were very different for us. Lewis took a similar path to what Carlos was doing, and I kept calling him that too. He's like mini-me for Carlos Slavin.
Yeah.
And I told him, you have to do the right things in order to win. It doesn't matter who you do it, at whose expense. You're doing it for yourself at the end of the day.
Yep, you have to get it done for yourself. And like I said, you know, now hopefully he stays in that good path, listening to the right people, and he's going to get a lot further than our friend Carlos Slavin. Speaking of, new things going on, you guys, Nick Diamond and yourself becoming the SPW Tag Team Champions. Let's go back and talk a little bit about how that happened.
Oh, I mean, when we first found out that we were going to be the #1 contenders for the SPW Tag Team Championships, we were elated because we knew we deserved it. We knew we earned it. We trudged through the entire tag team division that we could, and there was only one path left for us to take, and that was the path of the championships. Now, right away, it might have seemed that we didn't get off on the right foot there. But our good friend, the boss, Chris Blackheart, he caught that Aladdin had the tights on Nick Diamond.
Yes.
He cheated to win.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then he just restarted the match, and they think we cheated to try to get the belts. No, we were calling it right down the middle.
That's how it should be.
It should be. You know, he cheated to get a victory over us, but we took the easy route of winning like we should be.
So that's great news, you know, Aladdin and Alading Ding and all these weird people coming into SPW and trying to cheat to win and going to John Cena Sr. and picking matches. Like, you know, Duke Cornell's another one, comes in, goes and complains to Cena Sr. and he's right off the bat in a title match.
I don't get it. When I first saw that, I was like, who's this guy? I've never seen him before in my life. And then he comes in and he gets a title shot right away. And I'm like, well, guys like me and Nick have had to work. Guys like you have had to work so hard to get that. And they just come in and get it right away just by complaining.
I don't know what's
making
going
HR
on.
complaints.
I just don't know what's going on with Cena. He's been gone for a little while. I can't wait to hear what he's got to say coming up soon. But we're definitely back at it again. Live crowds. We're going to be in action this Saturday coming up in Taunton, Mass, which is going to be November the 20th, if I'm not mistaken, in Taunton, Massachusetts at the BFW, and it's going to be a great card. Who knows what's going to happen?
I mean, so many people have been asking me personally, just, through Jay Hollywood and all that, what's going to happen? You know, we haven't been seen live since a big show like Autumn Annihilation, and a lot of people are wondering, what's up with Lewis? What's up with Vega? What's up with the tag division? What's up with everything? And no, just come and find out for yourself. November 20th, 2021. This is the place to be, Taunton VFW Hall.
That's the date, that's the place, and that's where all those answers
can be answered.
Finally gonna get answers. So, make sure you check out all the social media, showcaseprowrestling.com, SP Wrestling on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff,
All the
YouTube.
jazz. Yep.
You know, speaking of YouTube, what is that new show that we got going on YouTube?
SPW Unplugged. It's a part of our Showcase TV run. We're trying to take a new vibe, a new look into everybody that we have on our roster. You know, whether it be the newest side of Luis Leon, you can go and watch our first episode where he took on not our favorite person, the diabolical Scott Leder, Creep, in a strap match. And it took a lot of effort for Luis to have to go through that. And you can see this unfold week after week after week, and you'll see the trials and the tribulations of our pro wrestling roster on SPW Unplugged.
Sounds interesting. You know, I got a chance to look at that match, and I'm finally glad because, you know, as you know, I had to go to some counseling and therapy and all this weird stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
She moved.
She did. I saw it myself.
That creepy thing, whatever it is, you know, Annabelle, doll, I don't know what the hell she is, but that thing got up and moved. And I've been telling people this for the longest, and now we got other people seeing what I saw.
I think if you look back, you know, where it started, COVID Combat, before that even, your celebration, we were trying to just have a nice celebration of your career and all that, and then out of nowhere, Cena Sr. signs the diabolical Scott Leder to a heavyweight title match, and then he invites you to not a wrestling match, but rather a fight in a abandoned hospital. What was that all about? Like, take me through that.
That was creepy, man. I had to ride down there. I had to bring the production with me. I had to bring Frank Rocha, the referee, with me. You know, if that's not creepy enough, having Frank
you
around.
gotta have Frank as your co-driver.
Yeah. So now I'm in an abandoned place. You know, bunch of creepy stuff going on, disappearing, all this stuff that, you know, I can't explain. But Scott Leder, finally, I could say we're kind of deviating that route and going on to bigger and better things, which is obviously always good.
Oh, absolutely. And finally, he's kind of taken a new path too, and he's no longer focusing on you, which is awesome.
That's great.
You know, you no longer have to pay those therapy bills, or we'll send them to Blackheart to pay for them, because he kind of caused that. When you watch that match back too, did you see anything particular about Lewis's new breed on life that you liked?
I like the aggression. You know, that is something that has to be within you, you know. It just doesn't happen overnight. So it means that he has some frustrations deep inside that needed to come out. And it's great for him that he took that path, he took that guidance.
Absolutely.
And now he could bring all that out and be as great as he could be. You know,
yeah, I think like going back on the aggression that he's been probably hiding and the angst that he's been keeping inside him bottled up, which isn't great, you know, to have. But when he finally let that go, I believe one of those things, a root of it, was being compared to Carlos.
Yes, I was just thinking of that.
Being compared to someone who isn't necessarily a big winner here, and I'm sure that ate him up inside. You know?
How many times am I going to have to wrestle this kid?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just, he keeps coming back. He's like the fly that'll never leave.
He just keep buzzing and buzzing and bugging and bugging, and now, you know, finally, Blackheart broke the news to me. In a few weeks at our biggest show of the season's beatings 2, I'm gonna have to defend the belt one last time against one Carlos Slavin.
Well, let's just hope it is the last time, because, you know, we already know the outcome. We already know you're going to be raising your hand in victory. Let's just hope that we're done beating the dead horse here and that Carlos will go on to different pastures.
Yes, hopefully, but, you know, more stipulations that are going to happen in that match will be announced soon, so stay tuned to our social media, and that will get announced shortly. Me and Blackheart are doing the business, and once we get it squared away, it will be announced.
Well, let's take another look here. Season's meetings, like last year, what's the comparison to how things were then versus how they are now? How they're going to be going into it?
Well, back then, not having an audience, of course, you know, that takes a big impact. I mean, I enjoy the time of not having these sweaty, smelly, you know, people all around me. But it's gonna help out in the sense that they're gonna be cheering for Carlos, they're gonna be excited for Carlos, and the look of disappointment in their faces when I finally beat Carlos for good is gonna be the payoff.
Oh, I know I'm excited to see that match happen and how that's going to unfold. Let's just hope we get a competent referee for that match.
Yes.
Let's hope we get somebody who can call that right down the middle. Somebody who we're not going to throw out of the ring and he's going to die.
Yes, yes.
Let's make sure that match is going to be watched, and you can find that on our YouTube at SP Wrestling, and go check it out live at Seasons Meetings. The date will be released soon.
All that info is going to be in our social media like we talked about. Now, changing gears now. I know you guys became the SPW Tag Team Champions, but now being a champion, you have a target on your backs. And are you ready to take it to the next level when all these teams start coming after you guys?
Oh, born ready. I think me and Nick have a dynamic that a lot of people don't have. We're comfortable with each other. And there's always a way to tell us apart, too. We're not like all the other tag teams where they look the same. You can't tell who's who. We are so different and so the same in so many different ways. And I love just walking out and getting under the people's skin. And then when they're like you said, the look of disappointment in their faces when our hands are raised in victory is just so bittersweet.
It's just unbelievable.
It is. It's great because they come out expecting the underdog to win. They come out looking for the hero. But heroes don't win in real life. Nice guys don't win. You got to walk over people to get what you want. And sooner or later, this tag division is going to realize that.
Yeah, that definitely will. I hear a lot of things happening. I hear a lot of tag teams that are going to be coming in, gunning out for you guys. But again, I have the confidence in the world that you and Nick Diamond are going to pull it off, and you guys are going to hang on to those titles for quite some time. I know the last couple encounters you have been taking on the oddly couple of Carlos Slavin and Duke Cornell. Talk to me about that.
It hasn't been easy because you've wrestled both of them personally, and they are not easy opponents. They definitely have their chops cut out. They know what they're doing in there. Mm-hmm. But me and Nick were never hanging our heads low. We may have been defeated by them, but we're still the champions at the end of the day. We still walked out with those belts. They walked out with a hot dog and a handshake.
Yeah. They're trying to get the belts. They're trying to do all these moves. Carlos, I just don't get it. He's trying to find friends anywhere he can. He's trying to get belts any way he can. And I just don't get the guy, man.
I don't know when the circus came back in town, but we had Duke Cornell, we had a pirate, we had a man with his doll, and then we had
clowns, we had all kinds of
stuff going on.
The only way you're gonna see the happenings is by going to SP Wrestling on YouTube, checking out Unplugged, the new show.
Yep.
Like you said.
Episode 2 should be dropping within the next week or so it should be, I have to contact Jay Hollywood, our head of productions, and hopefully we'll get that done.
Don't contact Gary Gold.
No, Gary Gold.
He's
not here today.
He's missing in action. I don't know.
MIA.
I don't know what's going on with Gary. Maybe he'll be in Attleboro.
Well, let's hope. That's his hometown, right?
Yes,
this is where
he'll be in Attleboro, and like I talked about before, this coming Saturday, November the 20th, we're back in Taunton, Mass, at the BFW Hall. Yep. The next week, where are we at next week? We're
at the Franklin Elks. We are at the Elks Lodge, the Throwdown at the Elks, Franklin, Mass, November 27th, I believe it is, right?
Yes, yep. Yes.
We haven't been there in quite some time. I wasn't even wrestling the last time we were there. So you expect to see some old faces, some new faces.
Yep.
It's going to be a pretty good show.
That's going to be a good show. Benefit the oil for veterans, I believe.
The Veterans Fundraiser.
So good cause. And then December the 4th, we're back in Attleboro. And hopefully Gary won't be MIA for that.
Nope,
at the Moose Lodge.
Well, let's hope he doesn't have to run into that nerd again, who you've had some encounters with. What's his name?
Christopher Spratt.
Let's hope he can have a new word for Gary to learn.
Yeah, he's been educating himself all right. Lots of things happening here in Showcase Pro Wrestling. We're moving on to the new year. What are the plans for Flawless and All in the new year? As far as the tag team division, maybe some stuff singles. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, we'll never forget that the roots where we both came from singles competition. We both had a common denominator when we came together as a tag team. But I think the future's looking as bright as my spotlight is. We are the SPW Tag Team Champions, and we plan to hold those for a long, long time. And like you said, new tag teams might come in. Some old tag teams might come back. It's going to be the same outcome. We're still going to have our hands raised at the end of the night. And we plan to go right through Marchiversary with those tag team championships. We plan to hold those for such a long time because, there is a record there is a record of a longest reigning tag team champions. I
Records
wonder who is holding that.
Yeah, you know, these guys, the fellowship, you know,
yes.
SOG and GA, Wes, Osiris, you know, they're back together again.
I did see that. I saw that they were back together. They also took on the Nerd and Big Matt Thompson a couple times. They've had their hands raised.
Had some victories. So those are a team that, you know, you guys definitely want to keep your eye on. But records, like you said, records are meant to be broken.
Absolutely.
And hopefully you guys can do that and more coming up. And like I said, you know, Carlos Slavin, Seasons Beatings 2. The match's been set for Seasons Beatings 2. He's finally going to get his title shot. But I got a surprise for Carlos Slavin because I'm all about surprises.
Oh, it's the holiday season. You know, we got to just throw the surprises out there.
You got to give, you know. It's better giving than receiving.
It's the season of giving.
And I'm going to give Carlos the beating of his life.
Well, I'm sure he'll appreciate it when he wakes up in the hospital bed, you know, not remember what happened to him.
Yeah, and of course, you know, you're going to have some people pissed off. You know, last time you had ladies trying to attack me and all types of people sending me disgusting messages online and worrying about Carlos.
I remember that first time that it happened, you know, when everything kind of transpired for the first time between you and Carlos, and you were just running rampant through the VFW hall. I know I was at the hands of that, but, you know, I definitely learned to just stay out of my way after that one. I definitely getting hit in the...
See, those were key words. You definitely learned something that Carlos hasn't been able to do in the last few years. And this is where we're at right now, and that's the issue.
Yep.
You know, I just don't know if he's got a loose screw in his head or he was dropped as a baby. Who knows? The bottom line is this, Carlos Slavin. This is going to come to an end, and this is your last shot. Because I had to go against, I don't know what Blackheart's thinking. He convinced me to have this match.
I think he's looking for the money marquee, you know? I think that people want to see the match, but what they really don't know is that they want to see your hand in victory. They're looking for the story, really. It's what it is. They're looking for the underdog story, and they're not going to get it.
It's been really nasty the last times me and Carlos been in the ring. You know, he's gotten hurt.
Yes.
You know, he's been a bloody mess.
I mean, look from the last time that you did it, the first time you did it to the last time you did it, right? It looked so much worse the second time around.
What do you think is going to happen this time?
It's going to look 3 times as worse. It's going to look 10 times as worse the next time around.
If I was him, I'd be worried about what the stipulation is in this match. If I was him, I'd be training. I'd be going to a training center. I'd be making calls, gathering some more of his weird friends that he's scraping off the curbs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's going to need it.
We just passed Halloween, so all the circus freaks have probably gone home, so he probably won't be able to find any friends for at least another year. So I think you're good on that account.
Probably. You know, I've seen some weird stuff, though, lately. You know, guys running around with chickens. Let's not even talk about that.
Absolutely.
But maybe he'll find that guy.
Maybe.
Maybe he'll find that guy. But talk to us more, you know, the first time here on Gary Gold's Corner. Talk to us more on you, Paul Holloway. How did it happen? What made you want to become a professional wrestler and join the SPW Training Center?
Well, it's not a boring story, people. It's not a boring, I always wanted to do it. My dad was my hero and all this jazz, and I'm making it for him. No, I started out on a stage. The spotlight has always been on me. And the biggest spotlight is that ring. That's my stage. And yes, I have loved professional wrestling my whole life. We all have. Well, that's why we get into the industry. But we do it for the applause. We do it for the money. We do it for the glory, the fame, the fortune. And this is my wheelhouse. I've been doing shows in the theaters. I've been doing shows in the lowest of low places, but I still made it my show. Just like you do it with you. Like, it's your show when you go out there. It's my show when I go out there. It's my stage. And that's why I want to do this. I want to be the very best that I can be and prove to everybody that it doesn't matter if you're a hero or not. When I want the spotlight on me, it's going to be on me.
That's definitely true words. You know, you have to do it for yourself. It doesn't matter where you're at. It's all about making it your own. And definitely you've done that over the last couple months, you know, winning the titles, teaming up with Nick Diamond. Talk to us about that, how that union happened with you and the flawless Nick Diamond.
Well, it started out, me and him, we crossed paths at the training center, and we both had a similar demeanor about ourselves, and I think we both were able to step on each other's shows, or on each other's toes, and we were like, oh, we have a common denominator here. There's so many people who keep running their mouths about how they're better than us. He wanted to show people that they wanted to be treated equal until they are.
Yep.
I wanted to prove to everybody that it doesn't matter if you are a loudmouth, if you want to be in this industry or not, that the spotlight's going to be on me no matter what. We both had something similar going on with each other, and then we had to cross paths as a tag team because Luis Leon, back when he was running his mouth, acting like a mini Carlos Slavin,
Great Warrior Whale,
and the Great Warrior Whale, Nicole Matala, Hakuna Matata, whatever her name is, means no worries.
Whatever.
And we destroyed them each and every time that we have stepped in the ring with them. And then we wanted something new. We were like, we're getting the taste, but we want the whole platter. We want it. And we went out and we got it.
And you definitely got it from, Pyramids of Power. Who knows where they're at right now? Who knows if they're gonna want a third shot? You guys already beat them again.
Yep.
I just don't understand how these guys keep coming back. They get beaten and they go complain to the office. They go get matches from Cena. I think
they're taking lessons from Carlos Slavin. I don't know.
I just don't know. It's the whole group is the crybaby force.
Yeah,
the crybaby league.
There's definitely a divide in the locker room. Where, we got the crybabies who want to get their way and then complain when they don't until they do, and then the people who just go out and get the job done, like myself, Mr. Vega over here, and my partner, and the boss, and even now Luis Leon, who's now starting to get the picture. He's starting to get the idea of what we're doing here.
And he's definitely getting the pictures. He's definitely going to be in those tougher matches because people are upset. They're calling him a traitor. That people are livid that he betrayed his friends. I mean,
it's not betraying. They should have seen it coming. I mean, anybody who's friends with Carlos will get kind of sick of him after a while. Be like, well, what are you doing? You're chilling out, content at the bottom. Don't you want to go past the limit, break the glass ceiling, grab the brass ring?
It's like that team that gets to the championship
and then loses.
He just chokes.
Better luck next time, right?
He's a choke artist, Unfortunately for Carlos Slavin, he's great in the ring. I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's a great competitor in the ring. He's had big matches, big wins. And, the only thing he hasn't been able to do is beat the champion.
And I feel like that's just been a running theme for Carlos. I mean, every time he's gone for any title within the last year and a half to 2 years, he hasn't been able to quite get it done. I mean, even before he was going after the belt and he couldn't get it done. I don't know what it is, why he's just so obsessed with that championship, with with Blackheart.
I think he's just mad at me and Blackheart at this point. It's a personal thing where he's pissed off. And like I said before, I've taken everything away in one night from Carlos Slavin. I mean, I'm giving this thoughts. What else can I take from him?
His career, at this point. That's all I can think about. I mean, he practically doesn't have one at this point.
What else can I take from Carlos Slavin? Those are answers. Those are answers that I'm going to give coming up soon.
Absolutely.
And talk to us more about, future plans. You guys have the belts. What's next?
Well, like you said, there's new tag teams coming in. We have some old faces like the Fellowship coming in. We definitely got to keep our head on a swivel with that one. We never know when they want to come back for those belts. They've only held them one time. They do hold the record right now, so we do plan on beating that record. And if they ever want to step up, fair game. We're ready. We're determined. We're ready for that. But any other tag team that wants to come and step up here, you better bring your sunscreen because our spotlight is very hot. And you will get burned if you are not prepared for it. Bring some shades too, because your eyes might get blinded a little bit. But the bigger picture is that the flawless and all, we are the SPW Tag Team Champions, and it's gonna be like that for quite a bit. So you all better get used to it. Next time we're around here, I'm gonna bring the belt with me, just to show you all that that's what's happening. We're here.
I'm glad you didn't bring it. Some of these people don't deserve to watch championships.
No, not at all.
If they want to see the championship, they could go next week to Taunton BFW.
They could
pay their ticket.
Pay the price of admission.
Yes, they could pay the price of admission. BFW Hall, Taunton, 7:07 bell time. SP Wrestling returns there. Then the following week,
We are at the Elks Lodge. I believe it is a 6:05 bell time.
6:05. The
I believe
6:05.
it's an earlier show. It's a
Yes.
6:05 p.m. bell time. The tickets are same price.
Same price
of
in
admission.
Franklin, Mass.
Franklin, Mass. Go on to our Facebook, SP Wrestling, Showcase Pro Wrestling Facebook. Find all the information there. ShowcaseProWrestling.com. You can buy your tickets in advance to come see Vega and yours truly in our wheelhouse, on our stage, coming beating the life out of those losers who want to complain to the head office.
Unbelievable, man. Definitely unbelievable. Eventually, I'm going to have to, talk to Gary, and we're going to have to get Cena in this show.
We're going to have to sit him down.
That he could clear the air with all this stuff. I know,
He's getting a little power hungry.
We go back, way back. Cena was actually my manager at some point.
Oh, no,
we did
really?
business together. And then after that, we had a little falling out, and he had some words about me and some feelings, and I guess now he's just running rampage on those feelings.
I think you know a guy.
You can't trust people. This is what I'm talking about. Friends, turning your back on friends. Do you really have friends in pro
You
wrestling?
never have friends in this industry. Maybe one or two that you can really rely on.
Couple of acquaintances.
But in this industry, it's a really hard thing to keep your friends close, your enemies close, or what have you, all that jazz.
That's exactly what I told Carlos. Keep your friends close and your enemies even closer, and look what happened.
Exactly what nobody expected. The Premier Louis Leon.
All this stuff, Autumn Annihilation was crazy. We were victorious, like we've been saying for weeks.
Absolutely.
I was surprised that Blackheart, he came back. He looked great in there.
Looked great.
He handled his own in there. He even eliminated Duke Cornell,
Absolutely.
man.
That was awesome.
Definitely surprised me, man.
Definitely popped me and Nick Diamond in the back.
The boss definitely got some matches left over on him, And,
100%. I could see him beaten down. He needs to get his hands on Carlos by himself.
Hopefully we'll see the boss step in there at some point in a singles match and, maybe beat on Carlos or whoever else.
Whoever else wants to run their mouth.
There's a lot of guys gunning out, a lot of new faces that are coming in the next couple months. So we'll see what happens there. We're on our last minute here, about to close out. Any last words, any social media you want to plug?
My Instagram, all Paul Holloway. My Twitter, all Paul Holloway. Follow me on Facebook, Paul Holloway. Easy to find me. But when you come to those shows, you will pay the full price of admission. Come find us next weekend, November 20th. This weekend coming up, actually,
Yeah,
November
Saturday,
20th, Taunton, Massachusetts, 82 Ingle Street, the Taunton VFW Hall. And then next week, we're at the Franklin Elks Lodge, November 27th.
And that's a 6:05 bell time, right? The 6:05.
Next weekend.
Yes.
Yep. This weekend, 7:07. Be there. $15 for the ticket. You better be paying full price. No haggling with Kathy.
Yeah, no haggling. Definitely no funny business. But it's been great. This has been great, man. And for myself, the man they call Vega, in the Nature Boys Corner, Paul Holloway. See you next week.